you can get nice thin lines and then really thick lines. So that's really nice. Like it's a really nice brush. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, where I go around the world and the internet looking for art supplies to make your life just a little bit easier or for you to enjoy the craft just this much more. Now today I am reviewing a new glitter pen. So I was able to get these from a planner convention in DC, and Edding was there representing a lot of their new stuff. And one of them was these glitter pens, these new glitter brush pens. So I'm not normally a big glitter person, but I saw these, it said new, so I figured, you know what, might as well try them while they're new and see if they're actually worth it. I know that Edding's normally a pretty good company, so as you all know, there's only one way to find out if these are worth it. Come on, let's go check them out. Alright, so as you can see, we have an interesting little chipboard, right, container. It's interesting because this hanger is normally on the back of the box, but for this design it's actually on the front of the box, which is kind of interesting. It shows us the pen, the 4 different colors that are on here. It has a nice little cutaway so you can actually see the like glitter pen aspect of it. Really cool. I like the box. It's just this is weird to me. Like I want it to be on the back of the box, but you know, it is what it is. This is a German company. It is made in Germany, as it likes to tell us. It tells you just how many pens you get. It tells you that it's a glitter brush pen and that it has a variable stroke wide for the brush, so you can go from 1 to 6 millimeters as far as the brush goes. So I'm assuming it's a flex brush, which will be good. And it says brush pen in active glitter colors, for creative lettering and coloring on light colored paper, ideal to brighten up everyday life. The flexible brush nib has a variable stroke with 1 to 6 millimeter water-based ink store nib down. Okay, so it's a water base. Yeah, you know how we are with water base. It normally tears up your paper, but I'm assuming that if you are trying to do just little calligraphy type stuff and, you know, kind of highlight things, this is going to work just fine. So let's check them out. All right, as normal, we have our Strathmore Bristol board smooth 300 series. You can get these everywhere, Michael's, anywhere pretty much. All right, so let's see if we can preserve the box, sort of. All right, so there we go. So once you open the box, it actually opens again. So I don't think you're supposed to keep the box because it opens like that. Okay, so we have, I mean, it's a normal size, or length, or at least, yeah, lengthwise, it's normal pen, right? So that's good, especially for people with bigger hands. So it's a nice size to the brush. It's thinner, so it's a pretty thin barrel to the actual brush, which, I mean, that is a complete feel. Like if you need a thicker barrel, then this is not going to be for you. If you like a thinner barrel, this is actually quite nice. It's a very slick and sleek design as far as this, nothing really to it, but the feel of it, while it is plastic, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic. You can tell that there's some sturdy material that are here. You get to see the back of the color, obviously, and then the cap, actually, I don't know if you can really pick up on that, but it does have a little bit of glitter on there, so that's kind of cool. And then it tells you 1340 glitter brush, store nib down, so you want to store it like this so that your nib is down. The main reason why you want to store it down is so that the ink will continuously flow into the nib. And then made in Germany, and you know, the barcode. All right, so let's try them out. Oh wait, first, let's see. The brush itself, it seems normal. It's a bit thinner than most like brush pens, So it's going to be interesting to actually see how flexible it is, but you can see the glitter. You can see a little bit of the glitter in the ink that's in there, so that's kind of cool. See how the snap works. So there's a snap. Oh, it is definitely secure once you get it on there, so that's good. See if it posts. It posts with a snap too, so that's good. So you know it's not coming. Although by just flipping it around and posting it, it's leaking ink, right? I don't know if you guys can really see that at all. See right there? There's ink. So there's that. So it's picking up some ink, so it drops the ink. Okay, so look at that. If you fling it, right? Look at that. It's actually kind of cool for an effect. Right? It's really cool as an effect, but so the ink is not necessarily sturdy or like contained inside of the barrel, so you will definitely be getting a lot of leakage, I think, if you're not paying attention to it. But it is definitely a water-based. Water-based as you can feel it. It feels different when you use it, but you can get nice thin lines and then really thick lines. So that's really nice. Like it's a really nice brush, right? It's a really nice brush. It's got nice flow to it, right? Very even, very nice, very soft. I mean, the pen itself is really nice, right? But because it's a water-based ink, if you go over it, it's actually not that bad. But when you go over it, you can see the underneath. So once stuff is dried, if you go over it again, you'll see the underneath part of it. But it does have a nice little shimmer to it. It is pretty cute on how it shimmers up. So that's nice. All right, so we're gonna put this one away, and then we're gonna see if it was just that pen or if it's all of them. So I didn't really do much to it, but nope. So it's all of these pens. So if you flick it out, right, the ink is going to kind of come out of it and then it'll start bleeding everywhere. But I mean, even with that, right, it's still very nice. I mean, that's a really cool effect though. You know, if I do say so myself, like you can just fling out bits of color if you're trying to do something a little bit more abstract or something like that. But I mean, you cannot argue with, look at how that flows. That is crazy. From start to finish, it gives you a very nice, consistent ink flow. That's crazy. Like, that is nice. I appreciate that the ink flow on this, and it goes from thick to thin. It got thin line to really thick line to back to thin. Now, if you do start throwing it out, right, like all of this has texture to it. Like this doesn't. All right, so all the lines that were made are not texture. Like it didn't bubble up, but all the stuff where it was kind of like thrown out, it actually has more ink, so it's all bubbled up. I'm gonna try another page, see if, like I said, yep. So it definitely is the design of the pen. So you can just constantly fling water-based ink outside of your pen, right, for a little extra texture. But if you use it the way you're supposed to, it's a very nice, it's a super nice pen, right? You've got a nice variety with the flex brush. It has plenty of flexibility to allow you to go from thin to thick and then back down to thin. The brush is nice and sturdy, and it just bounces back. So even though you bend it, that nib comes right back to being nice and thin, and so you can make these nice thin lines. All right, let's see what this yellow looks like. I did not expect that pink to be that pink. All right, so the yellow, same thing. So it is, all right, so we've consistently done it with all 4 pens. So the ink will splatter out if you flick your brush. So if you flick your brush, you will get ink to come out of it, all right, and a splatter effect if you wanted to. But then, see, just, right, and it goes, it's really nice. It's a really nice brush pen. And then it has it has a little bit of shimmer to it. So, right, so it does have that aspect to it. So it is really, I mean, it's really nice. It is a really nice brush pen, and I cannot say anything about that flow. Like, that is just absolutely fantastic. When you go over it, depending on what color it is, right, you will still see what's underneath it, right? So even if you had a dark color like this purple that we were doing, like, you can still see the purple underneath it. So it doesn't blend. Like, it's not a blendable thing. You kind of always will see this color. But if you have a lighter color that goes over a darker color, right, then it makes sense. But if you're trying to do like the same color over top of it, you will still see what's underneath it. So that's something you got to keep in mind. But I think that these are a lot of fun. Like, you could do a lot of good stuff with this. Let's see what they look like next to each other, right? So, I mean, I think these colors are fun. If you want yellow, pink, purple, and blue, I know that they have more colors out there, but it does, the darker the color, it's a lot easier to see like the glitter that's inside of it, the darker the color is. But even with the yellow and the pink, like if you move it along the light, you will definitely see it. Whereas with the purple and blue, it's already, because it's up against a darker color, you can see the glitter without having to move the paper. But the yellow and pink, you kind of have to angle your paper so you can really see the glitter all the way. Okay. All right, so we just got done reviewing the Edding glitter brush pens, and I have to say, these are pretty fun. Like, the ink flow on this pen is just insane. It just, from start to finish, just complete ink flow. It was absolutely fantastic. The brush was flexible, like it said. It was able to go from thick to thin and bounce right back to a thin line. Absolutely fantastic. I really do appreciate that when it comes to this brush pen. The only concern that I have is that if I'm able to flick it and ink can flow out from the barrel of the pen, is that if you actually do store it upside down, is it going to leak out? Are you going to have problems with it actually leaking out of certain parts of the pen? That's my biggest concern. But I do like the fact that I have a secondary function. I can actually do like splatter effects with this pen, and I think that that's actually a really, really cool thing to do, especially if you can get the colors that you need and you don't want to, you don't want to get your fingers dirty by flicking it from a brush, like a toothbrush or ink or something like that, and you're getting your fingers and stuff all dirty. You can just have this pen and literally just go psh, psh, and flick it, and it'll spread that out. And I think that's really cool. So it's something to think about. Do I think this pen is worth it? Absolutely. I think you should definitely go out and try these. It's got a nice shimmer to it, so the glitter is there. It is a lot of fun. It's a really good brush pen. I do recommend it. You should definitely go check it out for either its great pen niche its ability for being just a fantastic brush pen, or for the ability to actually flick ink from the barrel and then go straight to inking with your brush. Either way, this is definitely a product that you should go check out. Well, that wraps up today's episode of Is It Worth It? I hope that you were able to get some type of information that will be beneficial to you. If you have a product that you would like me to review in the future, go ahead and drop it in the comments below and I will add it to the list. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified every single time that I drop new content. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you at the next episode.